making sure children are healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeeding in school and in life. This is Our Children, a program brought to you by the Children's Trust.
Good morning. I'm Jim Hodge, President and CEO of the Children's Trust.
And I'm Gilda Unruh, filling in for Ileana Varela. Welcome to Our Children.
The academic school year is winding down, which means graduations and summer planning are right around the corner.
That's right, and we're going to talk about how best to keep children learning and active over the summer. But first, we want to show you a recent trip to Tallahassee that high schoolers were given that are part of the Children's Trust Youth Advisory Committee. They got some real-world experience about how government works and how to impact on lawmakers.
I think I can speak for my peers when I say that this program has helped us define our voices, to see our value as leaders, and to discover the best versions of ourselves.
I'm from the same community that you are from, and if I can do this, so can you.
How do we change things? You're part of that change right now.
The Children's Trust has a board with a student member as part of its board. You can also join youth committees such as the Children's Trust Youth Advisory Committee and many others in YMCA here, to come on tours of the Capitol, to come to our board meetings, to ask questions, to get involved.
We have worked diligently to gather information on the root causes, development, and effects of youth violence in targeted areas of Miami.
What do you think it takes to end violence in our community?
I was able to talk to one of the senators, and they were very understanding, and they were very passionate about their work.
We're all pleased to see us all come down here and be involved in different pieces of legislation that's being passed to the different houses and Senate floor.
You see what people are actually trying to get into movement and trying to get across the state, and that really is eye-opening.
That was a valuable experience for those kids. And now we're going to talk more about great experiences for kids in the summertime. Joining us now are Merva Cadet, Chief Operations Officer for Gang Alternative, and Stephanie Martino, Founder and President of the Florida Film Institute.
Welcome to both of you. Stephanie, let's start with you. And now, you operate a real specialty camp. So tell us the kinds of things that you do at the Florida Film Institute.
The Florida Film Institute teaches the art, business, and science of filmmaking to high school students. And we've been doing this for 25 years. We go into different high schools throughout the year, and we do a whole program from soup to nuts. We teach them script writing, cinematography, acting, lighting, cameras. Then they all come together as a group and make a short film. We then take those films and shop them around to different film festivals around the country so that they can get recognition, which is great if they're going to pursue this as a career for their portfolios. We have a wonderful summer program that we're doing this year at the Coral Gables Art Cinema. We're there from June 12th through July 21st. We'll take up to 25 kids into the program. It's exciting. We've been doing it for 7 years there.
What ages?
13 to 18-year-olds. Okay. It's a wonderful program.
Sounds great. You're into films, yeah.
And Merva, what's going on at Gang Alternatives this summer?
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
At Gang Alternative, period, we are a full-fledged social service agency, and we provide many services for the children of Miami-Dade County. But for our summer camp, we've been funded through the Children's Trust. We've been able to provide summer camp for 345 children from in North Miami, Little Haiti, West Little River, and also the Homestead area. And we take children ages from 5 all the way to 12, 13, basically kindergarten to 8th grade. And we'll also take a child if they're starting kindergarten in the fall. And our summer camp is very fun. We make sure that we touch on things such as literacy, fitness, math, And what's also special is during the summer we do a robotics program. So the kids get exposed to lessons in robotics. So we incorporate a STEM initiative within our program. We take them on field trips at least once a week, and the parents love it because it's a free summer program.
Are there, you mentioned briefly, but are there specific neighborhoods you concentrate on?
Yes. Specifically, we have a site in North Miami. We have 2 sites in Little Haiti, one in West Little River, and one in Homestead.
Thank you.
So basically, with that being said, we get a lot of calls from parents, and our spots fill up quick because the kids, they've been through the summer camp before, so they'll tell new parents and new friends, and they'll call in to try to get a spot. So the sooner they get in touch with us, the better.
And I assume the same with the Film Institute?
We do. We have 6 full scholarships this year to give away. So we're looking for those wonderful creative kids to come out and be our future filmmakers of tomorrow.
Sounds great. So they should contact you.
They should contact us at the Florida Film Institute.
Right. Jim, I know these are great programs, but I'm sure there are so many others like the 2 programs we've just talked about. Can you tell me how parents can find out about the programs through the Children's Trust?
There's hundreds of programs. The easiest way is to download our app. Find the Children's Trust on your Android or Apple device. It's very interactive. It tells all the programs, descriptions of programs. You can sort by geography, areas of interest, as well as you can call 211 or go to childrenstrust.org, our website, and you can find information there as well.
What advice would you offer parents in terms of selecting a camp for their child?
Well, parents know their children the best, so they need to find out what area of interest their child is. We have it in the arts, sports, technology, but then there's general interest camps where they have field trips throughout the county, and that may be great for a child too once kids get exposure to different areas. They're on our website and on the app as well. There are tips for parents to choose, and most importantly that we're very proud of with all the Children's Trust funded agencies, that children with disabilities are included in all and welcomed in all, and they participate along with their peers. We're looking forward for a great summer for all children in this community.
And school is out
June 9th.
And so parents, it's time to start planning. Well, thank you both for joining us. I'm sure it's going to be a great summer. But up next, how moms and dads can get some support to become their child's best first teacher. Don't go away. We're going to be right back.
Very important to really respond to what your babies are doing.
No matter what your children are interested in, there's a summer camp that's just right for them.
We know that they're just having a blast here, and for me, that's priceless.
Now the Children's Trust has 3 easy ways to get all the information you need to find the perfect summer camp. Call 211, visit thechildrenstrust.org, or download the free Children's Trust app.
Most students will not have these opportunities if it was not for the Children's Trust.
Call, click, or download the Children's Trust, because all children are our children.
Someday, he'll own his own company. She's going to have a career in graphic design. And believe it or not, future pediatrician. And so that your kids can succeed tomorrow, the Children's Trust is investing in them today by supporting hundreds of programs and services dedicated to helping kids and parents. To find a program for your child or learn more about what we can do for your family, log on to thechildrenstrust.org or call 211. The Children's Trust, because all children are our children.
Welcome back. As a father of 3, I can testify that parenting is probably the toughest yet most important job anyone could ever have.
Which is why funding programs that help parents keep their families strong is so important and so vital. Joining us now to talk about the topic are Dr. Elena Mansour, co-project director of the University of Miami's Families First program, and Travis Kelly, a board member of the Fatherhood Task Force of South Florida.
Travis, let's start with you. Okay. Tell us why parenting and getting fathers involved in the lives of children at an early age is at the core of your organization's mission.
Well, we found that statistics show that over half of individuals that end up in prison grew up without their fathers. We've also seen that more than half of high school dropouts grew up fatherless also. So those couple of statistics there are enough in itself to see how important it is that fathers are involved in their children's lives.
Now, Alana, I'm sure that you encourage fathers to get involved, but what are some of the obstacles as far as them not getting involved in their children's life?
So yes, we definitely encourage dads to participate. And in my experience, we found a number of different things that impact a father's participation. Sometimes it can be work schedules or transportation issues. They often have misperceptions about parenting groups, that they're just for the moms and that it's the dad's job to support the family financially, and that moms are the ones who should be taking a more active role in the parenting. We've also found that moms share that view as well. And so I think that it's really important that we educate our community about the vital role that dads play in their children's well-being and in their development.
Why do you think the dads, you're a father of three, why do you think fathers think that it's not their job to be involved in parenting? It's just their job to bring home the bacon.
Yeah, and I think there's some traditional roles, but I think by educating fathers, I think fathers, they love their children. They want to be involved. Sometimes we just need to educate them and build an awareness of the importance of why they need to be involved in children's lives.
Travis, how did you get involved in the Children's Task Force?
Well, at about 7 years ago, I was involved in another nonprofit organization, and I was referred by a friend of mine to our founding CEO, who was Holly Swirling, and she asked me if I would be interested in coming to the table and coming up with ideas on how we can better serve our fathers in our community. So myself and 6 other founding members came to the table, and we laid out a mission and a vision, and we put out a strategic plan. And as a working board, we all took parts in carrying it out. So we're a very grassroots organization. We're very much involved, the board members, because we're a working board. So nobody gets paid for anything that we do, and everything that we do is done strictly voluntarily.
I want somebody to tell me about this Fatherhood Reading Squad. Even the name sounds fun.
The Fatherhood Reading Squad. The Fatherhood Reading Squad is a program that we established. I think we've been established for about 3 years now. Is where we've gotten the fathers involved in actually going into the schools and reading with their kids in their classroom. Jim, I think you can attest to it, that it's a very good program. I think, did you read last year?
I did.
He read last year. And you'd be surprised at how proud it makes the kids feel when his father comes in. It can be something as simple as a Dr. Seuss cat in the hat, but it gives them a sense of pride, and it definitely creates a connection between the father and his child.
I'm sorry, Ilana, tell us about the Families First program and how often do parents have to participate in the program?
And what have you learned as a result of running this program?
Okay, well, Families First offers 2 different parenting groups. One is called Baby and Me, and it's for parents and their infants from birth to 6 months. And the second is called Strengthening Families and Communities, and it's for parents of children 1 to 7. Baby and Me is a relationship-focused, research-based parenting group that meets once a week for 2 hours for 10 weeks, and parents learn a new topic every week. They learn about things such as ways to promote brain development, the importance of touch, how to soothe the crying infant and calm yourself. They get on the floor with their babies and they engage in an interaction activity, and they get baby items related to the topics that we talk about every week. They also make scrapbooks, which the parents absolutely love, and we serve a snack or a meal depending on the time of the group. It's really a great opportunity for parents to focus all of their attention on their infants for 2 hours without any other interruptions. And Strengthening, the other group, it also meets once a week for 2 hours for 12 weeks, but only the parents attend. And this evidence-based curriculum, we teach a number of different positive parenting strategies to help parents learn how to manage behavior.
Such as?
Such as time out, ways to use an attention chart to encourage more of the behaviors that you do like, because sometimes when you can focus on a behavior that you do like and you can reinforce that, then you're going to be less likely to see behaviors that you don't like. Parents also in this group learn ways to teach their children about their own cultural beliefs while raising them in a multicultural environment. And we give them topic-related items as well, so that they can take them home and practice some of the strategies that they learn in group.
What kind of topics? Give me a for instance.
What type of topics? So as I was mentioning, for some of the behavioral strategies, we talk about time out, we talk about different types of strategies, if you're yelling at your child all of the time and you're always raising your voice, then sometimes
I bet you never did that.
sometimes talking in a lower voice can actually be more productive. And we teach about spanking, which a lot of parents tend to want to use, but research actually shows that it's less effective than a number of other strategies. And so my goal is to give parents a handful of strategies, because what works with one child might not work with another, what works one time might not work another. And so you really have to have a handful of strategies and then be able to problem solve based on your child's behavior what you can do to correct that behavior or to improve it.
Do you find a lot of parents still spanking their children, or has timeout become the thing to do?
I think that there's a mix. There's a mix, and I think that's why parenting groups like Strengthening Families and Communities are important. We really focus on using positive reinforcement, praise, giving children clear instructions so that they'll understand what is expected of them, and also understanding where a child is developmentally, because if a parent's expectations are too high for their children, then it's really not fair that they're disciplining them for something that they don't have the ability to control or do.
Travis, what do you think fathers in your group have learned?
Well, our organization serves as a resource. So I think they've learned that being a father to your child is very important. I think they've learned how significant it is and the impact that they make with their kids. Because there are certain barriers that keep fathers from actually being engaged in their kids' lives, like educational barriers, employment barriers, and we serve as a resource. So if you are having those type of issues, you can come to our organization and we can point you in the right direction on how to help overcome some of those barriers so you can be a better father to your child.
I would say divorce is certainly an issue.
Oh, most definitely. Relationship issues is probably one of the most important issues, barriers concerning a father actually being involved with their children.
What do you then try and do to help fathers understand how to calm that relationship issue so they can spend more time with their children?
Well, what we do is make sure that they understand that what's best for the child is what comes first, not their own personal issues, not their own personal issues of their spouse or of the child's mother. They have to understand that the child has to come first. If it's if court intervention is necessary, then we provide a resource for them so they can get help in family court, so that they can come to an agreement, an amicable agreement where visitation is fair for both, support is fair for both, and making decisions in what's best for the child is fair for both.
Well, I want to thank you both for joining us here today, and thank you for your wonderful advice. It's been such a pleasure, and now we want to give some upcoming events a little plug. The Fatherhood Task Force of South Florida is hosting a full week of wonderful workshops for dads from May 6th through the 12th during the Fathers in Action and Advocacy Week. And May 11th is Fathers in Education Day, when dads are encouraged to visit schools, to read, share stories, and get involved. Find all the details on the Fatherhood Task Force website at ftfsf.org. Now, don't touch that remote. We're not done yet. Next, we'll show you what the Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery is all about, and you don't want to miss it.
The reward has been beyond what we could have ever imagined.
I think that you have to go into this with an open heart.
Anyone who even has a small thought of being able to do it can do this, because everyone has that heart to give.
The Children's Trust urges you to consider adoption. Log on to MiamiHeartGallery.org to see and hear from children who need your love. The Children's Trust, because all children are our children.
I can't imagine my life without them.
Put down all your prejudice and just love them.
Fear prevents us from doing things that are life-changing, that make the difference in the world.
It is scary, but it's something that you can do.
The Children's Trust urges you to consider adoption. Log on to MiamiHeartGallery.org to see and hear from children who need your love. The Children's Trust, because all children are our children.
And when I looked at this little girl, I knew she was mine.
Welcome back. There are hundreds of children in Miami-Dade County who are available for adoption. but they may not be who you imagine. These are not newborn babies. They're often older and sometimes even come with brothers and sisters.
We're going to talk about why it's so critical for these children to be adopted. But first, we want to show you how the Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery works to form forever families.
For most of us, the love and support of a family, having a permanent place to call home, and the experience of childhood innocence are things that we take for granted. But for hundreds of children in South Florida's foster care systems, these things are nothing more than a dream. The Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery, a joint effort with Our Kids of Miami-Dade Monroe, by seeing the children's photographs, reading their stories, and hearing their voices. It is hoped that loving families will open their hearts and bring these children into their homes permanently, thus leading them into a new life.
The Heart Gallery is the most magnificent tool to give these children the kind of exposure that they need so that people who have no idea that they're out there see them for the first time, people who are considering adoption, and get an opportunity to really fall in love with these children.
Founded in 2008, the Miami Heart Gallery is a collaboration of dozens of volunteers who pool their talents to help create the exhibit. From stylists to makeup artists to award-winning photographers from all over the country.
When we first started, there were almost 90 children that we were photographing, and it took us 3 days to get it done. Now it's down to 1 day and about 25 kids, so that means that there's a success rate. The Miami Heart Gallery is working, and people are becoming familiar with the children that are in the foster care system, and they're reaching out and opening their doors and adopting these children into their homes.
The reality is, whenever I'm shooting for the Miami Art Gallery, it's always a great day, no matter, the kids. So it's just, what you're doing, it means a lot.
The Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery has been designed to provide a window into the hearts and souls of these children, showing them in their true light. Their photos will enthrall you and will draw you into the center of their greatest dream, a day when the waiting ends and they become a part of a real family.
What makes you happy?
Like the thoughts of him make me happy.
What do you dream about?
About being in the NFL and having a good family.
So have a heart. Adopt a child, because all children are our children.
Joining us now is Nelson Hincapié, President and CEO of Voices for Children Foundation and a board member of the Children's Trust. Thanks for being here, Nelson.
Thank you, Jim.
Tell us why it's so important for foster care children to be adopted before the age of 18.
Well, all the research shows that the early years are the most important years, the crucial years. So when there are parents who cannot take care of their children for whatever reason, and we know now by research that in 75% of the cases is drugs or alcohol, those children need to be out of the home. They need to be in families that can love them, that can protect them, that can give them everything that children need in order to be able to accomplish their full potential. So that's why it's so important. Obviously, the older children get, the harder it is to get them adopted.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about this in the past. When they turn 18, what happens to that foster care child?
Well, unfortunately, because they've been, the state has been the parent for those children, they're on their own. Unfortunately, these children are pipelined into homelessness or into jails. And there's plenty of research that shows that the population of correctional facilities is made up of a large number of people who have been touched by the foster care system, by DCF or the Department of Human Services in other states.
And that is so sad. I know a lot of people fear adopting through foster care because they're afraid the birth parents will somehow sweep in and take their kids away. Can you clarify that?
Is there fear that bio parents will come back and want their kids, or will children want to find out who their parents is? The answer is yes. I mean, you know, and with social media these days, children, and again, the older they get, the more they will want to find out who their parents are or were, or get connected with their parents. So it's really on a case-by-case basis.
But are the parents' rights terminated?
Yes.
So they can't really come in and take that child away from a foster family?
No. Once a ruling has been made, once those rights have been terminated, the biological parents are out of the picture. Those children are ready to be adopted. And again, the Heart Gallery is an amazing program that the Children's Trust funds. And it's one of the greatest tools we have to be able to get these children into families that will give them the love that they need. And listen, at the end of the day, it may sound cliche, but love really does change lives.
Nelson, tell us a little bit about Voices for Children, your organization.
Sure, absolutely. Voices for Children has been around for 34 years. We're the fundraising organization for the Guardian Ad Litem program. And Guardians Ad Litem are the folks who, volunteers from the community, anybody can become a guardian. They represent the children in court. They become the eyes and ears of the judges in court. And they're the best ally that a child who ends up in foster care has. Unfortunately, it's the best thing that can happen for a child who ends up in foster care is to have a guardian ad litem.
And parents should also remember adoption is legal. I mean, you have it's all done very legal. So you have those, you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with the guardian ad litem, who can be a guardian ad litem? Can anyone do it? Is there criteria?
Anybody. They have to be 21 or over. They have to obviously be able to speak English, because they have to go in front of the judge, and their hearts have to be beating.
What about time commitment with the guardian ad litem?
The training, the initial training is about 30 hours, so that's where the most time commitment is. And then, you know, I would say I've seen guardians who spend, 10 hours a month, and I've seen guardians who spend, 40 hours a month.
Right.
It depends on what the needs of the child, the ages, and so it depends.
Thank you, Nelson, so much, and for all the work that you do. It's such great work. And it's really incumbent upon all of us to be voices for children. I mean, isn't it? Well, I'm afraid we're out of time right now, but before we go, I want to invite everyone to get connected with Connect Miami. It's a 10-day challenge in the month of May for people to step out of their comfort zone and get to know people who are different from themselves. Visit connectmiami.org and find out how to take the Connection Challenge. I'm Gilda Unruh on behalf of Jim Hodge and everyone at the Children's Trust. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Our Children is brought to you by the Children's Trust. The Children's Trust invests in programs and services that help make children healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeed in school and in life. To access its funded programs and services in Miami-Dade County, visit thechildrenstrust.org, because all children are our children.
Every kid deserves the chance to succeed tomorrow. That's why the Children's Trust is investing in them today. To find a program for your child or learn more about what we can do for your family, log on to thechildrenstrust.org or call 211.